How are you going? Oh my gosh, there is so much, absolutely so much going on out there. And I feel like I'm just running, keeping up. And it's just like boom, boom, boom. Now, this one is a remote view and it's 5 days old. I've been trying to get it completed. I'm already started on the next one. There's just so much information. So I'm going to get going with this. And yeah, really positive. So celebrations and upliftment as it's happening, as it's really kicked off in the UK for all the Plan B COVID restrictions, including mask wearing to end in England, with quite a few countries now, they are free from mandates. Look at the thousands upon thousands of truckers in Canada driving to Parliament, and many thousands of truckers from America are joining them as well. This is going to be touched out, which will wave right throughout the world. Many have their families with them and are driving for days on end. The love that is pouring in for them is incredible. So wherever you are, send them so much love and strength, as they will be the markers for all around the world. They need your love and support. They are not anti-vaxxers. They have had enough of the mandates and the restrictions that are on everyone, and some of them have already been. They are calling enough is enough to also awaken the sleepers that are not awake yet, as these truckers have joined in solidarity, taking it to Parliament for Trudeau to stand down and end all mandates. Now, what is really interesting there, I also saw that old Trudeau has been in isolation for the next 5 days with our friendly virus. Now, how apt is that? Because he has not got the strength to stand up and face these truckers. By God, nothing is going to stop them. So watch the space, follow them, and it's insane. I'll even try and put where you can follow them on Facebook and watch where they're at. It's amazing. So join in with the momentum and send them the pure love energy from your soul and make that stand with them, as this is going to be incredibly powerful all around the world, as this narrative of the C-19 was not meant to have been released till 2025. But because Mr. got into office, he stomped it out while he was in office. And by the way, he's still in. If you know what you know, and I've just kicked the camera, so that's really good, Karen. So, yeah, this is the biggest reason the narrative is falling so fast, as they have succumbed to release it, and they were not prepared to play the card yet. This has not had the hold that it was meant to have had on all of us worldwide. Yes, we have had casualties, but the aim was going to be billions that would have lost their lives. So this is extremely positive. You need to be grateful that you are still breathing. For as if they had not been intercepted prior, it would have been 10,000 times worse. So watch now while other countries follow suit and stand up against their governments. As we said, you can now feel reassured in your heart as you no longer connect to the narrative. because it's coming closer to an ending. For if you feel the fear, it's because you have not stepped out of the matrix. All I can say, it's checkmate. For now, the movie has had an ending, and it has to have an ending, So this is where you are participating and can now do your part. So we ask you to lift your vibration up high, put out your positive vibes of what you want and how you want to see the ending. You write your own ending up. Don't give your soul away to a narrative that can suck you dry. You take the control. And how do you want the ending to end up? So use this time now, because as you can see from the UK, the celebrations over there with the mandates, you have the other countries following suit. And I just also saw Sweden. It said no to this for the 5-year-olds, 5 to 11-year-olds, and that was massive. In your country, hold the line, hold the energy for the light for the people, because your country will be saved, every single one. New Zealand and Australia, with a few other countries, will take longer, as they have to wait till the narrative crumbles, because there are less people awake in these countries that are still happy to put their head in the sand and continue as nothing is going on, while others truly love their leader and can't connect to the evil that is within them of their leader. Many that followed the narrative willingly handed their soul over to something that was false, a false reality, a false prophet. They need someone to save them instead of taking the control and looking after themselves. Look at how these governments managed to take the control over their people, as they started with creating the fear, but threatening their lives by something they were told they can catch from another person that could potentially kill them. Take a look at many of the movies that have rolled out prior, and while the pandemic was happening, to put the mind in the people so they recognize it's extremely dangerous and potentially now could kill them. Perfect model of programming. When they create enough fear 24/7 around the clock, you can easily be controlled. This is how your country, and this is how they've controlled your country. They've pumped out fear, fear, fear. And whatever your government feeds you this through the media, you will listen. If you have been following that the government has paid off your media, and New Zealand especially have a motto. This is what has been said by our leader. As you are programmed to watch the news at 6 p.m. for your updates. Because one thing that she says is, we are your one source of information. And that is pumped. She continuously says it to all. And yeah, it's a statement we don't forget. And guess what? No, we're not listening. The people will eventually pay the price with their health, but do not fear, for it is their journey that they have taken. They need to focus on rebuilding their immune system back up. This is a must. To help you get out of your fear and your worries, take a look at the narrative they are rolling out. Now we want you to dissect it. Everything is the opposite to what they have said. Find the opposite to what they are promoting. That is what really is going on. So hold on to that. Do not give your energy away to the fear that they are pumping out, because then you feed it out to the collective, and that collective energy goes out and creates and manifests that energy out further. So remember, we are all collectively connected to one another. So what you do the opposite, and that is the truth. You need to feel the truth within and here, and not through here. That is how you untangle yourself. You don't follow the narrative that they roll out. The death numbers that they say from the virus is the opposite too, as this is misleading the truth. Have you noticed there is no mention about the flu deaths? In actual fact, any other deaths. If it was a pandemic, people would be dying everywhere at a drop of a hat, all over the place. What's up with all the new variants each month? One after another, just to keep you in that total fear. And the latest one, the O, I'm not saying the word, they're actually coming out that the symptoms, runny nose, sore throat, headaches, feeling unwell. Wow, do you recognize the flu anymore? They come out with all these names for them. For the ones that have realized, congratulations, you are stepping up and have woken to your spiritual self and holding on to the line for others to see your strength. You could see things do not add up and you start questioning things. Why are you being censored? And stop for asking questions. When we wish to question, we get no answers because we are not allowed to question the narrative. Or you get labeled a conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theorist, meaning a secret of great importance is being kept from the public. The CIA actually created that term. For all the ones that have stood so strong for all, what you have shared is coming now true. It is a day of celebration, and every day from here on in, do not cave in, as we are literally at the end times of it all falling completely over. So build your light up. You do not give in. And as every country, the doors are wide open now. The light is literally pouring in. There is so much healing energy on the higher frequencies coming through now. People mindsets are shifting up as they are now questioning, and more people are standing up. Especially, I'll note here in New Zealand, since the good old boosters, that's been pushed massively here. And since that, the ones that have had their first and second are now questioning, no, I've done 2. And if 2 haven't worked, I am not continuously having the 3rd, the 4th. They are now starting to question, why do they have to when they've already had 2? They're starting to put their foot down and whoa, this is what we're needing. For the children that have been injured, they're not putting that out in the media. They're squashing it and keeping that narrative completely away from the public. These starseeds on the front line are taking the hits for thousands more not to get injured. So we send them love for doing this for humanity. Imagine just if that was put out on the news, no parent would do it. Think about it. Your government leaders have shares in the vaccine companies. It's all to do with money and control, not health. The narrative has fallen and can't sustain. There is no strength. Instead, you're gaining the strength. So with that in mind, You gain your strength so strong. You gain it as you strengthen your light so much brighter. That gives you the strength to stand up to the corruption in your country. It is pure people power now. A revolution has begun. So be proud of yourself standing up while many are still in fear. The meaning of fear and anxiety represents you letting go of your past and walking into a new future that has no control over you as you do now. You have the fear of going forward if that's what you're suffering. So when you put a positive out for your future, then you are aiming for that, and then you won't focus on the fear of where they're leading you this way. So realign yourself and put out where you want to go and lock in on it and shift your fear away and focus this way. You have only ever known what control is. You don't know the difference of not having been controlled. Now you're just looking for peace. Your whole brain is actually starting to function differently. Have you noticed you're thinking differently? You're seeking peace in your heart. You're wanting more of a stress-free lifestyle. You're adapting your mindset now, and you're watching others looking happier by having less. What is money? It's an energy. Does it make you happy? Yeah, it can make you happy. You can be the richest man in the graveyard, but were you really happy? Were you at pure peace? This is something that you need to look into, and this is what you are getting taught at this time. This is why your challenges, everything that you're facing right now is all entwined with money. You're going to see many countries follow suit, but New Zealand and Australia will do the opposite. You have waited out this long. What's a little bit longer to wait? It's not much longer, because the more you share it out, the stronger people become. You will also see some banking systems go down. They have been all part of this agenda. They have run out of money, hence why you will find that it is so much harder to borrow money. And they will give the most ridiculous reasons at the moment. There are so many people that are involved. All the people you've looked up to are involved in the different organizations. They've been all rolling it out for money and greed. The money and all the assets will be stripped from them. Then they are nothing but paupers themselves, for that money will be given back to the people. They have now met their fate and have been rounded up, and the ones that are on stage playing their parts are finishing up the movie to show you to what length they would take to strip everything from you and leave you with nothing. You would not even have your health, as they have poisoned you for many years. So you would rely on the medical system, which was run by the large pharmaceutical companies that controlled the governments, all for greed. Very soon, all your dreams are about to come true. You will be able to have money to achieve because they stripped it from you. Money, as they've always quoted, is the root of all evil. Now, how apt is that? Become more at peace and live a simpler life with much joy. Spend more time getting within communities that are growing their vegetables, to picnics and meeting new like-minded friends. This is what it's all about. This is why it's taking its time for you to start unraveling your life. Time to now change up. You would have never all come together if you hadn't have been put through this. If it was cleared earlier, at the beginning of the 2 years ago, that you've had to endure all this pain and suffering, you would never have got to the space of learning so much about what they have done to you. You would not have connected and stood up and found who you really are with your own strength. So look upon it as with gratitude. As hard as it is for you to acknowledge, when you see gratitude in the hardest times. So look upon it, because look at all the positives that have come out of this. You spend time to see the positive that comes out of that hard time where you have had to stand strong. When you acknowledge the gratitude, you will get stronger again. Shine your light so strong to neutralize the dark, because all the dark ones are showing themselves out, and it's becoming so apparent who is who now. The ones that don't know are standing even stronger. So you are strong when you unravel yourself from your own fear. You will stand strong. You will see the lie, and you will stand. All you carry is the sword from Archangel Michael. When you raise it and plant it into Mother Earth, you visualize taking back your power, taking back your soul. As you stand, there is a sovereign soul to the land. You are the people of the land, and you are a living being and not drowned at sea. You are a sovereign soul, as they have stripped you. Now you are gaining your strength, and you are gaining who you are. No longer walk in fear. No longer feel that they are still in control. Every government is a shadow government. It is only rolling out for the ones that are walking this earth, not realizing there's anything wrong. It is easy to block it out and carry on. To ignore it, then you are being complicit. They will be touched because they have to awaken and go through the change-up. So no matter how much they ignore it, they cannot run from it. There will be some that won't wake up. They're not meant to be here, and they will fade out. Even the animals, the vibrations of them have lifted. They will start to place a pandemic on the pets to get them jabbed, and watch for this to roll out, as they will create fear. They are focusing on a financial crash. Do not fear, as there is another backing it up straight underneath. It's not for long, but again, it's another fear to create and to wake up people. Do not fear that you will lose your money. You'll get it repaid, plus you will also get back the money you've paid out in taxes, and look upon that as a massive savings account that is coming back to you tenfold from the universe. We have calculated who gets what and how. You do not need to worry about that. It's all manifesting its way to you. So walk knowing that you have money. For every breath that you take, you bring in more money. Nobody will want for anything. This will be in return for what you've gone through. There is so much freedom when you lift your vibration. So learn your breathing techniques and deep breathe from your stomach right through to your head, and let it go up through your shoulders. Just let everything go. Find that special place in your heart and block out the noise, because you do not need to vibrate in that lower dense vibration. And when you lift yourself up into that high vibe, that is when you connect into the steps that you need to climb, and just keep climbing the steps up and away, as they say. The English language has been limited. There will be new words that you're going to learn, because there is so much more that you will experience later on. But first, you have to experience what money is, because they have stripped it from you. So money will be on its way. But first, you will see a big change up. The reveals, so there's much coming by the end of January, February, that's more, as so many reveals are rolling out already. But by February, when it comes, it will be extra astonishing of what's going to be starting to reveal. As it slowly reveals up, everything gets flipped. You'll notice that people at the moment are losing their emotions and their personalities. For many have been controlled by AI. So when you do not resonate to the energy, walk away. Acknowledge, but do not get into a confrontation. Just walk away. For your focus now is to become at peace within your heart. Pace yourself, as so much is going on. But for the ones that are asleep in their slumber, their guides are working alongside them, as their future self is teaching them. And that is why more are waking up, because they're listening to the frequencies that are coming through. The vibration of Gaia is also lifting the planet, and the land is speaking through the vibration of the weather patterns. There is more peace coming out, but it is like going through the eye of the needle. So at the point, you will feel like you were getting squeezed right down. So much at you is coming at you. You cannot go into higher realms with a heavy baggage on your shoulders. So meditate more, sing, listen to music of a high frequency. Spend time in the water, soak in the sea. Allow the minerals to absorb into the body. Cells, as much healing is to be completed. Your vibration is lifting day by day. Every part of your cells is expanding, but also letting go. So unravel yourself, unravel your past right through to the lifetimes that you have carried. Because there's so many generations that you carry in your DNA. It is the DNA that you're changing up. So we're trying to prevent you from connecting to the higher frequencies into the new earth. Because once it's destroyed, your DNA, you don't lift up. So what they're trying to say there is they have tried to interfere constantly with your DNA, and they're trying to break it up. So when you're lifting, you're getting pulled, and it just basically shifted off completely, like that water's just flowing through. So just know that so much is going to change up in your country. So seek the groups and stay strong. Connect and lift the vibration of others, because the more you help another soul, you'll be helped back tenfold. So I send you so much love right now. Lift the vibes, and no matter how hard, whatever your country is just bombing at you, especially here, we've got it pretty scary in New Zealand. And it's just know, when you find that peace in your heart, you connect and you rise above, okay? Because when you are in the 3D level, everything will bombard and hit you. Your focus now is just to keep lifting. So no matter what they try, it doesn't touch you. It can't find you. So that is your focus now. And stay strong. It is so close to being over. I know I keep saying it, but it's just already shifted in all the countries. So let's send the love to those truckies, because that is another marker for us. Have a fabulous day. I love you. Like and share, subscribe, and share this to others that you feel that need that help.